Far below the sun, there is a world of quiet darkness. It is the bottom of the deep ocean, a huge, cold desert that stretches for thousands of miles, where almost nothing moves. Food is very rare in this place. The silence is so deep and the distance so great that a tiny piece of a dead fish can take years to drift all the way down to the bottom. But then, something happens. High above, in the world of light and air, a giant whale takes its last breath. Its long life in the sun is over. Its huge body begins a new journey. It falls slowly, silently, leaving the light far behind. For days, maybe even weeks, it tumbles down through the cold, crushing dark, sinking deeper and deeper into the unknown. When it finally touches the dark sea floor, it is not just a body, it is an impossible gift, a sudden miracle in the endless dark. This deep place is a food desert where life waits a long time for a small meal. But this one whale brings more food than would normally fall on this spot in 2,000 years. A new world has just arrived. The news travels fast through the dark water. The first to arrive are the great scavengers of the deep. From the blackness, ancient sharks appear, drawn by a scent they have waited for. These are six-gilled sharks, with ghostly pale eyes. They are creatures from a time long past. They tear at the massive body, beginning a great feast that can last for more than a year. Soon, others join them. Slimy hagfish, like eels from a nightmare, swarm the whale in huge numbers. The deep silence is broken by a storm of feeding, a rare and violent moment of life. After many months, the great feast is over. The sharks and hagfish are gone, vanished back into the dark. All that remains is a skeleton, picked perfectly clean. It rests on the seafloor like the bones of a lost cathedral. It looks like the end of a story. But the truth is, the most mysterious part has only just begun. The first great feast is over. Now, a second wave of life arrives. For years, thousands of smaller creatures will colonize the skeleton. Bristle worms, tiny shrimp, snails, and crabs move in. They clean the last remaining bits of tissue from the bones, turning the seafloor into a new rich soil. This is not just a cleanup crew, it is the founding of a new city. The skeleton is no longer a body. It has become a landscape, a reef of bone in the endless dark, providing shelter and structure where there was once only flat, empty mud. A whole new world, built upon a giant's remains. This community of colonists will live here for up to 2 years. They burrow into the enriched sediment. They crawl through the giant ribcage. The whale fall is now a bustling neighborhood, a place of constant, tiny movements, transforming a site of death into a thriving habitat. But eventually, even the smallest scraps are gone. The bones are picked clean. The story should be over. And yet, the most incredible chapter is just about to begin. The flesh is gone. The blubber is gone. What could possibly be left to eat? The secret is locked inside the bones themselves. Whale skeletons are not dry and lifeless. They are like a sponge, soaked with up to 60% fat, a hidden pantry filled with enough energy to feed a community for another 50 years or even longer. To unlock this hidden food, a bizarre chemical process must begin. Deep inside the bone, where no oxygen can reach, tiny bacteria start their work. These are ancient forms of life. They begin to slowly digest the rich fats locked away in the skeleton's core. As these bacteria feed, they release a gas into the water. It is called hydrogen sulfide. This is the same chemical that gives rotten eggs their smell. The water around the whale fall becomes a strange toxic bloom, a chemical soup leaking from the giant's bones. To most creatures, this gas is a deadly poison. But here, in the crushing dark, it is a dinner bell. This chemical cloud attracts a new, even stranger set of animals. The whale fall now mimics a deep-sea volcanic vent, a place where life thrives not on sunlight but on chemistry. And this is when the zombie worms appear. Their scientific name is Osedax. They have no mouths, they have no stomachs. On the outside, they look like small feathery plumes, waving gently in the dark water. But their true secret lies hidden. These worms do not eat bone, they grow into it. Like a plant, they send down a strange green root system that burrows deep into the skeleton. These roots are the key. They produce a powerful acid that dissolves the hard bone, releasing the fats locked inside for the worm to absorb. The work of these strange worms is slow. It is patient. Over many years, the entire skeleton of the great whale is consumed from the inside out. The bone becomes a living garden, a forest of red, feathery plumes swaying in the dark water, each one a testament to this final, bizarre chapter of the whale's journey. This last stage can go on for a very long time, 50 years, sometimes even 100. An entire century of life, all born from a single, quiet fall into the darkness. The deep ocean does not hurry. It takes the gifts it is given, and it creates worlds that can last longer than a human life. But the zombie worms held another secret, a detail so strange it feels like it belongs in a story from another world. When scientists first saw these beautiful red plumes, they noticed something was missing, something that should have been there. It got stranger. Every single worm they could see, every feathery creature burrowed into the bone, was a female. They searched and searched, but they could find no males. It was a city of only mothers, and it made no sense. So, where were the fathers? The answer is one of the deep ocean's most unsettling truths. The males are there. They are just tiny, microscopic. They never grow up. A single female can hold dozens of these tiny males inside her body, where they live as nothing more than a source for the next generation. A harem of hidden husbands living inside their queen. Think about this. This entire process, this 50-year cycle of creation, was completely unknown to us. For all of human history, we looked at the ocean's surface and had no idea these worlds were blooming and fading in the dark below. It was only in 1987 that a small submarine, a deep-diving explorer, stumbled upon one by accident. It was the first time we ever saw a whale fall. For millions of years, this incredible story of life from death had been playing out, a secret chapter in the history of our own planet. A giant whale that dies and falls into the abyss is not an ending, it is a beginning. It becomes an ark, a sun, a world in a place that should be empty. For 50 years or even a century, this single body gives life to millions of creatures in a place that has no light. It is a powerful, beautiful, and deeply mysterious gift. A reminder that in the great, slow story of the ocean, nothing is ever truly lost. It is only changed, transformed into something new, something alive, and it makes you wonder. Right now, somewhere in the crushing dark, another giant is on its long journey down. Another hidden world is about to be born. A silent, beautiful secret, beginning again in the deep.